Hey guys, um, today is a video that I really wanted to share. I've been thinking about sharing for a long time because it could potentially, stop something that happened to my son from happening to another little boy or little girl. So, about a week or two before my son's first birthday, he's 3 years old now, but about a week or two before his first birthday, um, he had an accident. It was what, you know, the doctors and everything, they were calling it a freak accident. It really was a freak accident, but I feel like it could happen again to somebody else, without having the right information, I guess. We were about to go to bed, me, my son, and my husband, and my son was in his little bed. I was in the bed laying down. My husband went and turned the light off, and I could hear my son get out of his little bed and run and jump in the bed, try to get in the bed with me. You know how kids, they want to sleep with mommy and daddy, whatever. So I'm turned, away from him, but I can feel him climbing on the bed, and all of a sudden, like, he let out a scream that I will never forget. Like, that scream, it made it, thinking about it makes my like hairs on my skin like stand up, because like as soon as he screamed, I knew, like, okay, what, something is wrong. Like, what is hurting him, what happened? Like, it just was so confusing, and it was pitch dark in the room. So I told my husband, I'm like, you know because I think he went to go grab him, and I'm like, don't grab him, he's caught on something, because I could feel him tugging. And I like grabbing for like the nearest light source, which was my phone. I put the phone on. His eyelid was hooked on to the loop, the hook on my convertible bra, like on his bottom lid. I don't know if you have a convertible bra or if you've seen them. You know that on this strap there is a hook that can loop onto. There's usually another circle, and it can kind of loop onto it, so it becomes a racer back bra. I had one of those on under like a little spaghetti strap t-shirt going to sleep. I don't even know why I had a bra on, because I usually don't sleep with a bra on. But for some reason, I was sleeping with a bra on. I think it's because I was still nursing, and I had, the nursing pads and stuff like that. But yeah, he's hooked onto so he's hooked onto his eyelid is still hooked onto the latch. So, you know, my husband, he's trying to like get the hook from out of his eye. Cairo's trying to get away. Like, we're trying to hold him so he doesn't further hurt himself. We freed him from the hook, and like as soon as we freed him and he was free, I ran. I go turn the light on, and when I turned around, like, I started crying because there was just blood coming down his face from his eye. I started freaking out. Um, you know, my husband, of course, he kind of was trying to stay a little calmer, and he's like, "Oh, maybe it's not that bad." I'm like, "Maybe it's not that bad. Like, look at his face." And so we grabbed like a cloth, we kind of wiped some of the blood, but I could tell when I was looking at it that his eyelid had been torn, and man, I was crying like a little baby, and he wasn't even crying. That was the crazy part. He was not crying, and we of course got in a cab because we didn't have a car at that point. We got in a cab and we went to Brooklyn Hospital, and I was just crying the whole way there. When we told the nurses and the doctors what happened, they didn't even believe. They were just like, they were just totally like in disbelief that that happened. You know what I mean? It was just such a freak thing to happen. Um, but yet it happened. He was so brave. He wasn't even 1 year old yet. We were in the waiting room. He wasn't crying. They gave him like a little toy. He was playing with it. Um, you know, they couldn't do anything for us because they looked at his eye and they said, you know, his it looks like his tear duct has been torn. So because of that, you know, we're gonna have to send him to a specialist. So they put us in the ambulance and they sent us into Manhattan to New York Eye and Ear Infirmary or something like that. And basically, they performed surgery on his eye. Um, they had to put a little rubber tube that was about this long from the tear duct, you know, down, I guess, his into his you know, where to kind of connect so that his tear duct could heal open, and heal the right way, because they said if his tear duct didn't heal correctly, tears just could be coming out spontaneously, or he wouldn't be able to cry. You know, it could be blockage. It was just a lot of things that could have happened. So they wanted to put the stent in his eye, and so they put it in. And the thing is, they had to put him to sleep. And for like parents who have seen their child put to sleep before, it is not something you want to see, because you know that they're so young. And just to see it happen, man, that was tough, because it's this little person that's full of energy all the time, and then all of a sudden, you know, you see them give him the needle, and you see him kind of just like drop, and it was just like, oh my God, like, please, you know, take care of him. They took really good care of him though. They, you know, put sutures in his eye. They stitched it closed. They put the stent in, and his eye was pretty puffy afterwards. But I swear to you, by his birthday, you couldn't tell anything happened. That's how good a job that they did. Like, you couldn't tell that he had been in an accident. There was no scar. Still today, you have to look so close to see that, oh, there's a tiny scar there. So yeah, it was definitely a traumatic experience for me, and I'm hoping not as much for my son, because he didn't seem that traumatized. I haven't bought a convertible bra since this incident happened, so I really don't know if they're still made the same way or anything like that. But if you have a convertible bra and you have a toddler, or you know, a baby that could be crawling or anything, be careful with these bras, because I would have never thought that my baby would have been hurt by my bra. I just, that thought didn't cross my mind. You know, we baby proofed. We you know, had the bumpers on the coffee table. We had the, you know, the sockets covered, and we were trying to keep him safe from all these things that we know are dangerous. But we didn't think of something like a bra. You know what I mean? Like, who thinks of that? You know what I mean? So I'm glad that my son had no permanent damage from it, um, and that it didn't affect his actual eye. It only tore his tear duct. So I thank God for that. That he didn't injure his eye, and his eyesight is perfect. So I hope you got something from this, and thank you for watching. And I will see you in the next one, maybe. Bye.